Marisa Asubuhi. Good morning, everyone. It is with great pleasure that I join you all today for the 8th International Zero Waste Cities Conference, happening for the first time in Africa and historically happening for the first time here in Tanzania, thanks to the amazing organizing of TV Fajo and GAIA Africa. I am grateful to be part of this very historical moment, as well as some of the moments that contributed to bring us where we are right now. In 2018, Ana Rocha, who was then leading NIPI Fajo, attended the Zero Waste Academy in the Philippines and has since then been engaging with communities in Tanzania to strengthen their implementation of their zero waste programs. In 2023, as part of the International Zero Waste Month celebration, the Philippines hosted the 7th International Zero Waste Cities Conference. And on its own conclusion, Asia passed the mantle to Africa for organizing the next conference. Thank you again, Anna and Niven, for taking on the challenge. I know that indeed this has been a challenging experience for you, but I hope today it is an affirmation that it was all worth it. Over the following months, there have been plenty of exchanges between Asia and Africa. Many other groups from Africa came to the Philippines to attend the succeeding Zero Waste Academies. And last year, Honorable Mahmoud Musa, Mayor of Zanzibar, visited zero waste models in the Philippines, including the Zero Waste Island model, the province of Siquijor. And now, we are all here together to celebrate this moment of cross-regional and global collaboration that strengthens all our local work. But what is zero waste? And why is there a focus on cities, municipalities, and local governments? One commonly accepted definition that we use is zero waste is the conservation of all resources by means of responsible production, consumption, reuse, and recovery of products, packaging, and materials without burning and with no discharges to land, water, or air that threaten the environment or human health. And the beauty of global spaces like the International Zero Waste Cities Conference is that we see this definition in action and in practice. We see how different communities show that zero waste is not only a far-fetched dream, but also a living reality and practice for many of us. We have many ways to show it in our respective languages. And apologies if I pronounce it wrong, but I'll try. Hakuna Kinachu Haribika. Walang aksaya, nada se desacha. Wala usik, nada desperdiciado. Ria ne GSPA, Tidak ada yang terbuang sia-sia, and Lashe Ayedeo. And 1,000 other ways that we could say nothing gets wasted. Because for me, at the heart of it all, zero waste means nothing and no one is disposable. That everything and everyone has value. On my way here to Tanzania, I was trying to read about Tanzanian culture and came across a metali or a proverb that says, Kitu kisuri chajusa, kibia kinaji tangasa, which roughly translates to, a good thing sells itself, a bad one advertises itself. And the reason this proverb resonated with me was because it reminded me of my own zero waste journey. When I started to talk about zero waste more than 20 years ago as a young educator, the most common question I got was, is that even possible? Most of the conversations around that time, at least where I'm from, revolved around individual actions. Saying no to plastic bags, saying no to straws or styrofoams, bringing your own tumbler, among others. And while I firmly believe that individual actions like this are critical, especially for us zero waste advocates to show our leadership and our integrity, we're also bound by the limits of the system where we are part of. In my personal challenge to go for zero waste a few years ago, I was able to reduce my residual waste to 2 kilograms for one whole year. And while I am proud of this is also a sobering reminder that despite our best personal efforts and sacrifices, because believe me, trying to live a zero-waste lifestyle in a society that is designed for disposability entails a lot of sacrifices. These individual actions have their limits. Fortunately, I had the privilege of working with Mother Earth Foundation, a GAIA member in the Philippines, about 18 years ago. Going beyond individual actions, we've seen how community-driven solutions like zero waste are helping communities besieged by waste and plastic pollution. From working with small villages or barangays, to working with small cities with a population of 300,000 people, to working with megacities in Metro Manila, and eventually working with provinces in the country, we've shown that time and time again that zero waste is not only a distant dream, but a practical tool that any community of any size could adopt. But we all know that waste and plastic pollution are global problems. Even the best city in the Philippines, San Fernando in Pampanga, are only able to achieve a waste diversion of 90%. After a successful decentralized zero-waste systems that prioritizes waste reduction, segregated door-to-door collection, local composting of organics, and bans on problematic single-use plastics, they are still left with waste that is beyond their capacity to manage. What this shows us is that cities and local governments have very important roles to play, but we also need collective action to change the system. And this is where working for GAIA in the past 8 years has been a great personal privilege for me. Not everyone has the opportunity to serve such a diverse network of more than 1,000 organizations from 92 countries in 5 regions, groups bound by a common vision of a just world, a just zero-waste world. But at the same time navigating local contexts and limitations while harnessing the power, the energy, the knowledge, and the strength of a global network. GAIA is a network that puts local grassroots leadership and knowledge first. GAIA is a place where we're able to translate diversity into strength, where solutions led by the people trumps quick techno fixes. And GAIA's strength lies in the amazing work that our members are doing on the ground. And now we are seeing the conversation change. From asking, is it even possible, to now asking a different question. We have city officials now ask, we are inspired by XYZ cities. How can we be a zero-waste city as well? And in response to these requests, in many places, GAIA members are working with their cities and communities. In Latin America, cities like Londrina in Brazil, Lefu in Chile, and Bogota in Colombia are leading the zero-waste work in the region. Santa Juana in Chile have been implementing mandatory source separation and have been producing compost for nearby communities, establishing resilient systems that have overcome challenges like fires and floods over the past 4 years. In Europe, through the Zero Waste City Certification Program, Zero Waste Europe partners with local authorities in 15 countries, covering more than 16 million people. One of them, Catalafirmi Segesta, in the island of Sicily in Italy, has reported 97% waste diversion of their municipal waste. In the US, we know the stories of San Francisco and Berkeley. But we also have cities like Baltimore, Detroit, Minneapolis, that are showing how grassroots leadership is critical in implementing resilient zero-waste systems. These community models, as well as their campaigns for removal of renewable energy credits, has resulted in the recent closure of 2 incinerators in California, showing that when deprived of public subsidy, these false solutions would not even work. In Asia, we are seeing very active zero-waste movements in Indonesia, China, Vietnam, India, and many other countries, working on zero-waste implementation, policy advocacy, and just transition for waste pickers and waste workers. Here in Africa, zero-waste projects are happening in Durban and Accra and many other cities, with the focus on waste picker organizing and integration and the mainstreaming of organic waste management for methane reduction. And here in Tanzania, over the next 3 days, we're so excited to hear and see how communities here in Dar es Salaam, Arusha, and Zanzibar are paving the way for zero waste to happen. All these stories show how and why zero waste is an easy sell, if only we put people and the planet above profit. We're seeing how zero waste empower communities. We see how it creates more and better jobs. We're seeing how it is a powerful and meaningful climate action. We're seeing how zero waste programs break and expose the lies that perpetuates false solutions like waste to energy incineration. We're seeing how it saves cities and local governments public money that can then be used for social services. We're seeing how it is environmental justice in practice, providing a place not only to integrate waste pickers and waste workers, but to allow for them to take leadership. I hope the next 3 days will be a day of celebration for all the amazing zero waste work that's happening all over the world. And I hope these stories will inspire you to continue the work that you are doing or start your own zero waste journey. And lastly, I hope you will never get tired of sharing your stories, of selling the value of zero waste to the people, the climate, and the planet. Kito kisuri shajusa, kibaya kinaji tangasa. A good thing sells itself, a bad one advertises itself. Asante sana ni Pifajo and GAIA Africa for hosting this International Zero Waste Conference. Asante ni Tanzania kwa kasi yenu yote ya ketukelesa takasifuri. Thank you everyone for showing that zero waste is not only possible, it is already happening. Let's go for zero waste. Nenda kwa takasifuri. Asante sana. Thank you.